What's up, guys? Tuki here, back again. Welcome to another episode of my Montreal Canadiens franchise mode series here on NHL 18. How are you? Are you ready for this series? I don't know if I am. I hope you are. That's all I'm saying. Oh, God, I don't want to do this. In this episode, we take on the New York Rangers in the Eastern Conference Final. You've seen the team. You've seen the lineup at the end of the last episode. We haven't made any changes. The team will remain the same. So let's go ahead, at least to start the series. Hopefully I don't have to change anything, because if I do, that means we're losing. But let's take a look at what we are up against in the form of the New York Rangers, as I can hopefully remember to sim the game there for Laval. Let's take a look. 92, 93, and 93 for the rating. Zuccarello is their star player. Isn't he adorable? Look at him. He's so adorable. Let's take a look, though, at their lineup and see if they've made any changes throughout this first season. It doesn't really look like it. That is the same Ranger team. Top line of Chris Kreider, who has 10 points through the first 2 rounds. 9 games, of course. Mika Zibanejad with 10 points, and Matt Zuccarello, good Lord, 13 points in 9 games. The second line, Rick Nash with 6 points, JT Miller with 6 points, and Kevin Hayes with 6 points. Isn't that great? I was going to say adorable again. It is kind of adorable that they all have the same amount of points. Third line, Michael Grabner, Pavel Buchnevich, and Jimmy Vesey. The fourth line of Matt Plemple with David Desharnais and Jesper Foss. David Desharnais, how you doing, buddy? Captain Caveman over here. So look, before we even talk about the defense, offensively, yeah, we know this team. We are familiar with this team. Granted, the overalls are different because this isn't NHL 17, but what is there to say? They have gone 8-1 in the postseason. It doesn't matter what the overalls look like. They are very much capable of getting the job done. And then we look at the defense. You have Ryan McDonough on the top pairing with Kevin Shattenkirk, who was a little bit banged up. So was Ghost Bear at the start of the last round. Second pairing is Brady Shea with Brendan Smith. Third pairing is Mark Stahl with Nick Holden. The goaltender. I mean, you know who it was. It's the King. And he is performing at an unbelievably high level. 946 save percentage throughout this postseason. Andrei Pavlik has not been needed. They don't have any injuries, but they do have 3 defensemen that are healthy scratches. Anthony DeAngelo, Steven Kampfer, and Alexei Beregalazov. Right. And of course, I mean, so we obviously have the only injury at the moment, and without a doubt, the biggest one. No Carey Price, but we do have Charlie Lindgren, who is the reason why we made it to the conference final. So, guys, I think that's all the hype that's really necessary, don't you? Unfortunately, Laval also lost the third game of that series against Providence, but that's okay. They'll come back, I'm sure. Let's get down to business. Somehow, some way, we still have home ice advantage. Let's see if we can make the most of it, shall we? First period of Game 1 in the Eastern Conference Final. Let's go, and that is a good start. Brendan Gallagher. We were outshot 15-10, but Gallagher gets the only goal. Not a bad start for us at all. Second period, that is gigantic for us. Oh my God. The fourth line chips in. Plekanec and McCarron, and then with 15 seconds to go, Gallagher gets his second of the game. 28 shots to 20, but 4-0 on the scoreboard. And the Habs have started this series off in style. Unbelievable stuff. Third period, let's go. Let's go. As Brady Shea scores immediately. I mean, I knew that was coming. I'm sure you could even tell from the tone of my voice. But Galchenyuk gets the goal back immediately. Lehkonen gets another one. Holy shit. Is Al Montoya wearing Hank's gear right now? Did Al Montoya jump Henrik Lundqvist? I'm thinking that's what happened. There's no other explanation. Unfortunately, the Rangers are getting to Lindgren in the third period, and it is kind of scaring me. But thankfully, it is too little, too late. We take game one by the score of 6-3. We outshot them 39-31, and we made the most of it. Again, that third period, a little bit scary. Brady Shea with the goal, McDonough, and then Buchnevich as well. Lehkonen and Galchenyuk, though, with the goals. So I'm a little bit concerned that they were able to fight back there at the end of the third period. But regardless, we have taken the first game of this series. 2 goals for Gallagher, a 3-point night for Plekanec, and a 2-assist night for Jack Johnson. So not a bad start. Again, a little bit concerning with how that third period went, but we hand the Rangers just their second loss of the postseason. Let's go ahead and not jump right into it, because again, I should just turn off auto-rotate goalie. I really should. You know what? Let me do that. I should have done that last episode, but to be honest, I kept expecting us to lose. So, yeah, I didn't think I'd have to worry about it. I kept expecting us to lose. Is it from the rules page? Yeah, it wouldn't be from gameplay sliders. So, let's go ahead and where's auto-rotate goalies? There it is. We'll turn that off. Sweet, and then that way I don't have to keep going back to switch it. And then hopefully I can remember to turn it on after this postseason run comes to an end. So let's go. Let's get Charlie back in. He is 5 for 5. What an unreal run for Charlie Lindgren. Down to a .941 save percentage, but still just a .171 goals against average. We needed this. We needed this level of heroics. Now, it is disappointing in the Manhattan Project to have seen Andrei Pavelec deliver in the postseason. But then here, in NHL 18, Al Montoya shits the bed. So, you just never know. You never know how it's going to pan out. But that said, it is time. Game 2 of this series. Let's get the show on the road. First period, and that is not the ideal start. 2 goals on 10 shots, Kreider and Buchnevich. We outshot them, but we are down 2-0 on the scoreboard. Second period, can we battle back? Kreider made it 3-0. Philip Deneau at least breaks the shutout. We are on the board. And Lindgren having a rough game here. 3 goals on 15 shots. 25 shots to 15, but we are down by 2. We still have time. Maybe. Probably not. Third period. Let's go. Can we get a quick goal? No, we can't. Jesper Fast gets it. Gets the goal that we needed. Matt Plumple makes it 5. Oh, Charlie. Charlie. Now, speaking of Charlie Hedon is on the board. But Lindgren having a rough game, and this is what I was worried about. Their ability in that third period to get on the board scared me, and I had a feeling something like this might happen. A 6-2 final in Game 2, a very rough game for Lindgren, and this series is tied. Hank with 36 saves, a 2-goal night for Kreider. Philip Deneau was the third star of the game with a 2-point night, but that is a rough way to go. Thankfully, the Rocket, though, have tied it. It's essentially a best of 3 now down in the AHL. And I think, I want to see, I'm not going to take Charlie out, but I want to see how badly his save percentage dropped from just 1 game. By the way, Chicago up 2-0 on Dallas right now. So let's see here. Charlie, wow, from a .941 to a .915 in 1 game. That is drastic. Oh my God. Now, as far as the team goes, we are pretty much going to keep it the same. Again, I don't want to separate that third line. So the team will absolutely stay the same, although defensively, that Ben and Stripe pairing, not quite working out. Not quite working out. So you know what? I'm going to put, I don't know, do I put Johnson back with Petrie? What do we do defensively here? Because I'm not happy with that third pair at all. But I don't know what other options we really have. I mean, Joe Morrow's not terrible, but you think on paper, I mean, it's making us weaker. Maybe Alzner Streit? Alzner Ben? Nah, Alzner Ben would be a disaster. Alzner and Ben would be a disaster together. I think we just got to keep the team the same. We got to keep the team the same and see how it goes. Charlie will start Game 3 as the series shifts over to New York. But if he loses Game 3 and it's as bad of a performance as that last game was, then we have a decision to make. So let's hope that is not the case. Game 3 in the Big Apple. Let's see how it goes, shall we? Let's jump right into this first period of this third game, and that is, I mean, not the best start, but not the worst either, because Zibanejad scored 28 seconds in. Charlie Hudon was able to tie the game, so early scoring to begin the game, and then a whole lot of nothing from there on out. 13 shots to 11 in our favor. Second period is scoreless. They are now out shooting us 26-21, but we are tied, and that sets up this gigantic third period. Who will take the 2-1 series lead? Zibanejad scores 36 seconds in, and the wheels are starting to fall off. Ryan McDonough scores. We weren't able to take advantage of the power play. Thankfully, Max Pacioretty scores. All right, we're back in this. Halfway through the third period. We're not out of it yet. Can we get one more goal to at least force the OT? Power play is killed off, and Kevin Hayes scores. Damn it. I thought we had a chance once that goal popped up, especially after killing off the power play, but the Rangers take it. 4-2 final in Game 3. That we might have a tough decision to make here. 3-point night for Zibanejad, 32 saves for Hank, and a 2-point night for Ryan McDonough. And we are now down 2-1 in this series. The Rocket up 3-2 in their series, so they could end it in Game 6 and seal their spot in the Calder Cup final in their inaugural season, which would be something. That would be a hell of an accomplishment. But especially too without their starting goalie. But let's take a look at what we're up against. Chicago up 3-0 on Dallas in that series. So it's looking like the Blackhawks are going back to the Cup final. But we have a decision to make here. Lindgren down to a 909. I think we have to go with Montoya. We have to. I mean, Foucale's struggling at the AHL level, so we got to go with Montoya. We got to go with Montoya. And then as far as the defense goes, I mean, Ben and Streit, it's just not a good pairing. I'm not too happy with that second pairing either. Let's go with Streit and Petrie. Actually, here, let's go Johnson, Petrie, Streit, Weber, Ben, and Alzner. And you know what? I'm actually going to take out Jordy Ben again. And we're going to put in David Schlemko. We're going to put in David Schlemko. And we'll see how that works out. Again, this defense needs work. I mean, we got Jack Johnson as a rental. I don't know if he's a permanent fix. Ideally, we'd have somebody better. But having an Alzner, Petrie second pairing really isn't ideal. You could argue change Petrie to a two-way defenseman, or just treat him as a two-way defenseman and play him with Weber, and we could absolutely do that. But still, actually, you know what? We might as well give that a shot. We might as well give that a shot. And you notice, too, I mean, we don't have any, like, none of our defensemen are higher than a 4-star skating, too. Like, they're just, it's not the fastest team, which I guess, hey, replicates that in real life. So we'll go Alzner, Johnson, and then Schlemko, Streit. You know what? We'll give that a chance. Actually, I mean, we've seen that third pairing in action before. Let's go Johnson, Schlemko. Johnson, Schlemko, Alzner, and Streit. And we'll see how that works out. And again, Al Montoya is back between the pipes. We'll see what he can do. It is time for Game 4. Hopefully we have good news on two different fronts with Laval moving on to the Calder Cup final. And hopefully we can tie this series up here against the Rangers in New York. So let's do this. Game 4. It's as must win as it gets, I would say. I mean, without it technically being an elimination game. First period of Game 4, and that's not the ideal start, but it could have been worse. Kreider with the opening goal. Jágr tied it, only for Kevin Hayes to get another goal. 2 goals on 9 shots for the Rangers. Again, not a great start. I suppose it could have been worse. Thankfully, Jágr was able to get on the board. Second period, and that's interesting. 2 goals for Gallagher, who continues to help carry this team, but Kreider gets another goal. Where was this Chris Kreider in the Manhattan Project? That's all I'm saying. We are tied just about even in shots. 3 goals apiece on the scoreboard as we start the third period. Thomas Plekanec with a gigantic goal for us. I'm glad he started to deliver on the fourth line. Ridiculously long power play opportunity. Can we not score on this? What the hell? Thank you. Jonathan Drouin, Alex Galchenyuk immediately after. 6 goals here in Game 4. Make it 7. Philip Deneau. And the Habs aren't done yet. My God, what a third period. Thomas Plekanec, again, wasn't able to do anything in our top 6. We put him on the fourth line. He's starting to get points. And then Jonathan Drouin, Alex Galchenyuk, Philip Deneau strike in that third period. 7-3 final. We were down 2-1 at the end of the first period. We end up winning the game 7-3, and we have tied this series. Kreider was still your first star with 2 goals. Gallagher with the same stat line and a 2-point night for Thomas Plekanec. I mean, he's finally starting to deliver, which is nice. The Rocket lost Game 6. They are going to Game 7, and we will follow along. They won against the Marlies in 7. 3-1 final. Can they win? Actually, all of their series have gone the distance. They won 5 games against Rochester, 7 against Toronto, and now 7 against the Providence Bruins. Can they get the job done? Can the Laval Rocket, in their first year as a team, make it to the Calder Cup final? Let's find out. First period of Game 7 on home ice, and that is a great way to start. Chris Terry and Daniel Audette with the opening 2 goals. Only 7 shots to 2. 7 shots to 2 in that first period, but I will take it. We are up 2-0. By the way, I meant to check why we had like 18 minutes of power play time in the third period of last game, but I forgot. It is what it is. All that matters is that we won. Second period here, Jacob Forsbacher-Karlsson. I think it's Jacob Forsbacher-Karlsson. Anyway, he ties it. By the way, it's Malcolm Subban against Zachary Fucale. So, we have ourselves a 1-goal lead as we begin this third period. Can we avoid disaster in blowing a 2-goal lead? Can we get a little bit of insurance? We have a power play here that we can't do anything with. Providence with one of their own. It's a long one, too. Oh, my God. But we're able to kill it off. 6 minutes to go. Can the Rocket hold on and seal their spot in the Calder Cup final? Yes, they can. Zachary Fucale, 21 saves. And the Laval Rocket are going to the Calder Cup final in our very first season. Audette with the series-clinching goal. Essentially, 3 series that have gone the distance. 5 games, 7 games, and now 7 games. We'll see who they take on in the Cup final. But in the meantime, our focus shifts back to the main team. It is Game 5 in the conference final with Montreal. Let's see what happens. We're on home ice. Can we take advantage of it? First period. And that is not a good start. Chris Kreider can't be stopped all of a sudden. Not good for our chances moving forward. 11 shots to 6 in favor of the Rangers. Second period. That is better. That is better. Brendan Gallagher again. Oh my God. Can you say Conn Smythe? Rick Nash was able to tie it late. 17 minutes and 2 seconds into the period. So we are all tied up at 2 goals apiece. Gallagher, what a performance. Basically dead even in shots. Well, let's go. Third period. It is anybody's game to win. Early power play goal from Philip Deneau. And another one from Jaromir Jagr. Again, a ridiculously hot start to a third period, and suddenly we have a 4-2 lead. We're more than halfway through the third period now. Things are looking good. 5 minutes to go, and the Montreal Canadiens, holy shit, they walk away with the victory. Gallagher, what a performance in the second period. Philip Deneau with the game-winning goal. Jagr with the insurance. And things are looking good for this franchise as a whole, NHL and AHL teams included. We have fought back, and we have ourselves a 3-2 series lead. We are 1 win away from the Stanley Cup final. However, the Laval Rocket will begin Game 1 of the Calder Cup final on the same night that we play Game 6 against the Rangers. They're squaring off against Edmonton's AHL affiliate, the Bakersfield Condors. So Edmonton versus Montreal in the final. And as far as we know, the Chicago Blackhawks are awaiting the winner of this series. So let's get this over with. The team will remain the same. Let's go. Game 6. Of course, we'll sim through Game 1. We're going to pay attention to the AHL postseason as we have throughout the entire postseason thus far. Oh, God. Game 6 in New York. Win, and we are off to the Stanley Cup final in our first season. Let's go. First period is scoreless. We were outshot 10-4, so I consider that a victory for us, no doubt. Second period is also scoreless. Outshot 22-14 total. Still scoreless. Charlie Lindgren getting the job done so far. Oh my God, the only question is, can we find our goal-scoring touch as we begin this third period? We are either 20 minutes away from finding out that we are going to Game 7 or 20 minutes away from finding out that we are going to the Stanley Cup final in our first season. And go figure, right? Same thing happened in the Manhattan Project. Did we win the cup, though? I'll never tell. I won't tell you. You're going to have to go watch if you haven't already. And if you have watched, then you know. Enough shameless plugging of my own series. Let's go. Third period of Game 6. Early power play for the Rangers, and Chris Kreider scores. Oh, my God. Another power play chance for the Rangers. This one is killed off, but then Pavel Buchnevich, oh, he scores immediately after. Halfway through the third period, and it's looking like we're going to Game 7. And indeed, that is the case. Henrik Lundqvist with the 23 save shutout in Game 6. And we are going to that decisive Game 7 at home in Montreal. 23 saves for him. 34 saves for Montoya. I can't blame Al Montoya. He did his job in that game. Our goal scoring just disappeared. It just disappeared. By the way, the Rocket dropped Game 1 by the score of 3-0. Oh, God. Carey Price is back. Oh, my God. He's back early, guys. Fully healed. A good 5 days. 4 days? 4 days. Math is tough. Oh, my God. As of the 19th, Carey Price is 100%. Wasn't supposed to be back until the 22nd, which will be, Game 1 of the Cup final. And we have Carey Price for Game 7 against the Rangers. Oh, my God. Gallagher, 20 points, man. What a beast. And indeed, Chicago swept Dallas. They are waiting. We are going to Game 7. But we have the great equalizer between the pipes now, as long as he is 100%, like the game said that he is. And indeed, that is the case. Carey Price is back. Oh my God. Just in time for Game 7. Unbelievable. Honestly, when he went down to injury, I'm like, all right, that's it. It's over. I mean, we couldn't really rely on Al Montoya. He's done all right so far in this series. We had to rely on Charlie Lindgren. He did well for a time. But now Carey is back. Price versus Lundqvist in Game 7. Winner goes to the Stanley Cup final. Lindgren will take over down with the Rocket. I mean, Fucali didn't do too bad, but obviously we're going to start Lindgren in hopes that they can win themselves a Calder Cup. Carey Price is back. I need to take a look at the rest of the team, though. I don't want to, just make changes for the sake of making changes. Offensively, I'm leaving those lines the same, like I have for, the entire postseason. Defensively, that new top pairing is tearing shit up. Schlemko is an absolute disaster, though. So I'm going to take out David Schlemko. We're going to give Jordy Ben the chance yet again. He'll be on that second pairing with Jack Johnson. So Weber and Petrie, you could argue both two-way defensemen. Ben, defensive D-man with Jack Johnson, who's a two-way. Alzner, defensive D-man with an offensive defenseman in Mark Streit. That is arguably the best lineup we are going to get. The question is, can we win one more game? That's all we have to do for now. Don't think about the chance to play for the cup. Don't even think about it. Just focus solely on this game. It comes down to this. Game 7 against the Rangers. Winner faces the Chicago Blackhawks in the Stanley Cup Final. Let's go. Carey Price is back. Will he show any signs of rust? He is 100%. Let's go. First period of Game 7 is scoreless, outshot 11-6. But it's now been at least 4 periods since we've scored a goal. And that is concerning. Second period, it's now been at least 5 periods since we've scored a goal. 22 shots to 13. So Carey Price is doing his job, much like Al Montoya did in Game 6. I said I didn't have to change up, or I said I didn't feel like I had to change up the offensive lines. But maybe I did. Because we are having a really tough time scoring goals right now and just even getting shots on target. 13 shots so far through 40 minutes. And it comes down to this. 0-0. 0-0. Third period of Game 7. Winner goes to the Stanley Cup Final. Alright. Let's go. Let's do it. Please. Pacioretty, like the big names. Please, you have to deliver. I kept the lines the same. I've been able to trust you throughout the entire postseason. Can you get the job done now? We are halfway through the third period. Power play for the Rangers is killed off. 5 minutes to go. Another power play chance for the Rangers. That is killed off. And we are going to overtime. Scoreless. 32 shots to 20. Carey Price, in his first game since Game 2 of our opening round matchup against Ottawa, has done his job. We will go to overtime. Oh, God, we will go to overtime. Let's do this. We're going to watch it, too. We are absolutely going to watch it. Let's do this. It comes down to this. Unbelievably, it comes down to this. Right. Come on, we can do this again. Pacioretty, Drouin. I mean, anybody. All 4 lines are capable of goal scoring. The only question is, can they get it done? Well, let's find out. And I want to see what the camera angle is going to be. You know what? I'm okay with this. I'm okay with us going down or shooting down towards the bottom. At least this way, as Petrie turns it over, at least this way. We can see what's going on instead of using the, the actual, side view camera. Which, I mean, you really can't see what's going on. Zibanejad has scored some overtime winners in the past. Max Pacioretty able to strip him of the puck. Drouin turns it over. Shea Weber corrals it in the corner. Still battling for it. Able to kick it behind his own goal. Jonathan Drouin is there, leading the breakout. Across the red line, it's Jonathan Drouin. Cuts it in the middle, loses the puck to Ryan McDonough. It's Chris Kreider. Across the red line. Loses the puck, able to recover and step across. Gets hit by Weber. Weber tries to get the breakout pass, intercepted by Shattenkirk. It's Kevin Hayes for Kreider, poked away. The struggle in the center of the ice here. My God, Kreider to Smith. Kreider. It's Brady Shea, takes the shot. What a block. What effort. Loose puck in the slot. Drouin able to find it. He turns it over for Hayes. Another chance for a pass in the middle for Kreider. Back to the point to Shea. Kreider for Smith. Nearly turns it over. Loose puck at the blue line. Still battling for it. Kevin Hayes comes up with it in front for Zibanejad, and a huge save by Price. Kreider for Shea. Smith shot on Zibanejad. The loose puck in front is deflected down. Here comes Paul Byron on the counterattack. Over the blue line. Byron bumped off by Brady Shea. Quick outlet pass for JT Miller. He leads their counterattack. Makes a move. Isn't able to complete it. Recovers though. And Miller is slashed. And he turns the puck over to Byron. The New York Rangers go on the power play early in this overtime. And it's Jack Johnson. The trade deadline acquisition takes the slashing penalty. 1 minute and 48 seconds into overtime here in Game 7. Shaw and Plekanec out to kill. Miller takes the opening draw. Isn't able to recover. And we have another penalty here. It's a hooking call. And it's on Carl Alzner. And the Habs are falling apart. Self-inflicted wounds. 2 quick penalties. Jack Johnson and Carl Alzner. And the New York Rangers have a 5-on-3 for 1 minute and 57 seconds. Philip Deneau is out there. It's Nash, Miller, and Hayes. Mark Streit is able to recover and clear the puck. Huge opportunity for the Rangers. Shea for Nash. It's Kevin Hayes through the neutral zone. Loses the puck to Philip Deneau on the back check, and he is able to clear. Oh, God. Nick Holden for Brady Shea up to Rick Nash. Through the neutral zone. Nash carries in over to Kevin Hayes. The shot saved by Price. Loose puck in front. JT Miller carries it out. Holden for Hayes. Looking for space. Another save by Carey Price. Pass to Miller is deflected. He's able to recover. Hayes for Shattenkirk. Over for Holden. Puck intercepted by Philip Deneau. Having trouble clearing due to the pressure from Nash. Holden turns it over, and Jordy Ben is able to clear. 1:05 left on the 5-on-3. Rick Nash over the blue line for Shattenkirk. Quick give and goes. They turn it over. Jordy Ben will recover, and he'll send it down. Strong kill so far for the Habs. Ryan McDonough loses it to Plekanec, but he's not able to do anything. The immediate pressure from Nash. Hayes able to cross the blue line before he dumps it in. Petrie for Weber. Turns around, fires it back into Petrie. Somehow they're able to recover. There's another turnover. Kreider for Zibanejad, looking for the cross crease, and it's Carey Price with a big save on Zuccarello. Zibanejad a chance, another save by Price. Kreider to the point, another save by Carey Price. What an effort there. Oh my God, as you see Zuccarello, 20 points for the Rangers so far this postseason, but Carey Price doing everything he can to keep the dream alive. His return game, what an effort. Defensive zone draws one, Streit unable to clear. He is able to clear on the second attempt. 17 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. Kreider gets the pass. It's JT Miller across the blue line, back for Kreider. Looking for a shooting lane, takes the shot, and another save by Price. 8 seconds to go on the power play. As you see, Gallagher, 20 points as well. My God. 8 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Philip Deneau still out there looking to kill this off. Face-off one by Miller. Shattenkirk, one-time option and another save by Price. My God, what a save by Carey Price. Unbelievable stuff. 4 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. It's Plekanec out there against Zuccarello, Zibanejad, and Kreider. McDonough for Zuccarello. Back for McDonough. Steps in, shot, big save by Price on the captain, Ryan McDonough. He had all the space in the world to step into the slot, and Carey was there for the save. 1 second to go. The Habs will survive. The Rangers will fall to 0 for 5 on the power play in this game. Defensive zone draw is successful. Gallagher, though, turns it over. Brady Shea to JT Miller. Back to Shea. He crosses the blue line. Shea looking for space. Sends it around for Miller. Gallagher engages. Kevin Hayes for Rick Nash. Back for Miller. Back for Nash, and another gigantic save by Carey Price. In his return game, you couldn't have imagined a better performance robbing Rick Nash on the one-timer here in overtime of Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Final. Unbelievable. Grabner, Bushnevich, and Vesey out for the Rangers. Top line out. A tired top line out for the Habs. Offensive zone draw win for the Rangers. It's Grabner. Shea looking for Vesey. Can't get the pass in front. Loose puck still. Jack Johnson finally able to recover. That was weird the way he was moving. Jonathan Drouin looking for space. And he turns it over. And now the cross crease. What a save. And the net is off its moorings. Unreal. 43 shots to 20. I don't know how Carey is doing this. I had to check the shots at this point, but he is just standing on his head, keeping us in this game. It'll be another defensive zone draw. Second line out, still Grabner, Bushnevich, and Vesey for the Rangers. Let's see here. Can we get the draw win? We can't. Bushnevich the win. Shea for Grabner. Back in front. Another save from Price. And he is forced to cover. Unbelievable pressure from the Rangers. We have really yet to get going in this overtime. Obviously, the penalties didn't help. But Carey Price, what a performance. I mean, this is everything you would want out of Carey Price. Literally just keeping this team alive until the very last second. 15 extra face-off wins for the Rangers. We're able to get that one, though. Paul Byron through the neutral zone, over the blue line. Byron looking for space. Over for Galchenyuk, saved by Lundqvist. He had almost handcuffed him. He had trouble covering it. Galchenyuk the shot on goal. And for the first time in what feels like quite a while, we will have the offensive zone draw. Byron, Galchenyuk, and Jagr out there against the fourth line for the Rangers. Tie up on the draw. The Rangers are able to recover. Desharnais for Foss. Up to Matt Puempel. Puempel. He dumps it in. Karl Alzner recovers. Pass for Byron. He'll lead the rush across the blue line. In front for Jaromir Jagr. The shot saved by Lundqvist. Jaromir Jagr. Through, just right up the middle, into the slot, but not able to get a quality shot on goal. Still the same matchup. Second line v fourth line. And the Rangers get another win. Shattenkirk unable to get rid of the puck. Desharnais having trouble. It's Jagr. The shot deflected wide by Galchenyuk. McDonough for David Desharnais through the neutral zone. Desharnais stops. Looks for a shot. Blocker saved by Price. Desharnais has trouble. Loses it to Byron. He gets the breakout pass to Jagr. Over the blue line. Jaromir Jagr stops. Looks for the pass in front. It's deflected. Shattenkirk recovers. Gets the breakout pass for Desharnais, who will dump it in. Karl Alzner. The no-look between the leg pass to Jagr. Arturi Lehkonen gets it, carries it over the blue line. Galchenyuk for Lehkonen in front, and a huge save from Lundqvist. Charlie Hudon is out there. Alzner for Mark Streit. Back for Alzner. Streit again. The shot deflected down. Desharnais loses it to Charlie Hudon. Hudon the shot, and a big save by Henrik Lundqvist. But the Habs are getting the offense going. Did I expect to have to commentate for this long? Absolutely not. Yet here we are. It's a Game 7. You have no choice. Even though I'd kill for a bottle of water right now. But that's okay. We're in the game, man. Third line v third line. And another draw win for Bushnevich. It's Michael Grabner carrying through the neutral zone. Loses it on the handle. Loses it again. Stahl recovers. It's Nick Holden. Vesey back to Holden. Grabner loses it. Karl Alzner gets the interception. Pass to Lehkonen as he crosses the blue line. He'll send it around. Recovered again by Alzner. Charlie Hudon down low. Battling. Double team coverage there. Hudon still with it. Around the back of the net. Charlie Hudon battling in front for Philip Deneau. And a gigantic save. It's in! It is in! Philip Deneau with the overtime winner in Game 7. And the Montreal Canadiens are going to the Stanley Cup final in year one. Philip Deneau, I don't even know how that went in. I don't even know how that went in. The first shot was blocked. It got bobbled around off the defenseman. But one way or another, the Montreal Canadiens are going to the Stanley Cup final, hovering trophy and all, as Pacioretty refuses to lay his hands on it. Look at that beautiful hovering trophy. It's what everybody wants. Well, the first step to the not hovering Stanley Cup. Charlie Hudon with an amazing effort. And that leads to the Philip Deneau game-winning goal. Look at this. He gets the shot off. I think it bounced off of Lundqvist. Off a defenseman and then in. Absolutely unreal to survive a 5-on-3 in that overtime. Outshot 45-25, but we survived it. And we're going to the Cup Finals. Watch this shift, though, by Charlie Hudon. Like, absolutely unreal. This was Lehkonen, who sent it around. He goes to Alzner. Back for Charlie. Battling with Nick Holden. Jimmy Vesey ends up over there as well. Hudon somehow battles him off, gets around the back of the net, gets bumped again by Vesey. You have Lehkonen in front. Looks like he makes a bit of contact with Lundqvist, not called. Philip Deneau takes the first shot, huge save. And then, yes, wow, look at that pinball. The big save by Hank bounces off the arm of Mark Stahl. And then where does it go from there? It's batted into his own net. Wow. Philip Deneau takes the shot. Stick save by Hank off the glove of Mark Stahl. And then while he retracts the stick back to his body, Lundqvist own goals it. And that is how the season ends for the New York Rangers. Heartbreak. Heartbreak on one end, but elation on the other. Philip Deneau, the series-clinching goal, but Carey Price in his return game, again, his first game since Game 2 of the first-round matchup against Ottawa. It's a 45-save shutout in Game 7. And we are going to the Stanley Cup Final in our very first season. Can you believe it? Carey Price came back at the perfect time. Again, we know we're playing Chicago. The Laval Rocket have been killed. Just outscored 10-3 over their first two games. So I'm happy that they made it to the Cup Final. But it's not looking too good. But there you go. Montreal and Chicago in the Stanley Cup Final. Absolutely unbelievable. By the way, Bakersfield 13-5 in the postseason thus far, so I'm not surprised that we're struggling. I might change up the lines, off camera, because who cares? Off screen, off camera, call it what you will. But Carey Price steps up, returns at the right time. What a performance! And as we get a look at the stats, of course, we'll take a look at the Rangers lineup, or at the Blackhawks lineup. I never want to look at the Rangers again. We'll take a look at the Hawks lineup at the start of the next episode. Pacioretty, 11 points this far. Not bad, but we need him to step up. Jonathan Drouin as well. 12 points, not bad. He's got to do better. Gallagher, though. The straw that stirs the drink. 12 goals, 20 points for him through 3 rounds. Paul Byron, great decision on my part to put him on the second line. 13 points this postseason. Alex Galchenyuk doing well with 15 points. And then the 13 points for Jaromir Jagr. So, potentially some options within that top 6. Gallagher just continues to dominate, though. And I think we'll probably leave the top 6 the way it is. And in that third line, I refuse to break them up. Even though Arturi Lehkonen could probably play top-line minutes with his offensive ability, he has 9 points this postseason. Philip Deneau, 6 goals, 8 assists, and of course, the series-clinching goal, and 8 points as well for Charles Hudon. That top 9, I love that top 9. I mean, yeah, Paul Byron's a bit of a weak link, but, I mean, you look at his stats, I mean, not really. Not really. I mean, that is a solid top 9. I said we didn't really need that many offensive changes. We struggled a bit in that Rangers series at times, but we were able to get the job done. And then you look at that fourth line. Andrew Shaw does have 8 points. He's a -2. 8 points as well for Thomas Pekanich. And the 4 goals for Mike McCarron. He has that 1 assist as well. So you could argue certain line combinations will probably leave it the same to start. Like I said, I want Pacioretty and Drouin to really step up. Alternate options, I would say we could go with Jágr, Galchenyuk, Gallagher, Pacioretty, Drouin, Byron, but then we technically have 2 first-line players on the second line. So there are options. That third line, I really don't want to split them up. We could. I mean, we could. Again, Philip Deneau has been great, but you could argue Byron, Deneau, Hudon, and then say, I don't know, like where would you play Lehkonen? Would you play Lehkonen, say, with Galchenyuk and Jágr? There are a lot of different options we have with that top 9. Fourth line I'm happy with at the moment because, to be honest, I like the top 9 better than... I like everyone on the top 9 better than Pekanich. So, yeah, there's that. And then defensively, of course, Weber and Petrie. Great decision on my part. Just humble brag. Putting them together. Jordy Ben, I'm still not happy with. I'm not happy with Alzner or Streit either, but we're doing the best with what we have. And then, of course, Carey Price with a .966 save percentage, 3-0 with 2 shutouts so far this postseason. I mean, he's unbelievable. He is unbelievable. Any team, especially this team with Carey Price leading the way, anything can happen. So, guys, that will do it for this one. I hope you did enjoy. You. And when I say you, I mean you. Yes, you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. In the next one, we will take on the Chicago Blackhawks in the Stanley Cup Final. And we have home ice advantage, no less, despite, again, not winning that division title. Chicago versus Montreal in the Stanley Cup Final. I can't wait to get a look at their lineup. And, of course, we will follow the Laval Rocket as they continue on in the Calder Cup Final. Don't think it's going to work out too well for them, but you never know. Maybe there's a comeback on the cards. I thank you so much for watching. You know your support is always greatly appreciated. If you haven't already, feel free to support the video and the channel by liking and subscribing. Links are in the description to my Twitch and Twitter, of course. And guys, until next time, have a good one. Take it easy. And go Habs. I'm a little bit sick after saying that, but go Habs.